Oh, we've been talking about it with the roller coaster weather we've been having. You may want to take time to check out some of those potential leaks, air leaks in your home. Our building expert, Alan Wheeler, joins us now with some of those tips weatherproofing your home. Welcome back, Alan. I tell you what, now, why do we need to weatherproof our home? You know, we've got the winter that's already here. We've seen some pretty chilly temperatures here in the low country, but we need to do something to cut that electric bill. It's what it's all about a lot of times.
Well, in our homes, we have a volume of air, and the average home now will exchange, push out and bring in 7 to 10 air changes per hour.
Oh, wow.
And so you're heating and cooling all that moving air. So the intent with weatherization, weatherproofing, and energy is to reduce that. And people say, well, I have insulation in my walls, but that slows it up. But there's so many other things to look at, which is what I wanted to talk about it today.
And there's a lot of cracks, and the reasoning why you get that exchange 7 to 10 times an hour is that you have leaks somewhere in the house that either the cold or the hot air, depending on what it is outside, is escaping, and then now you've got to either heat or cool. In this way, we're looking at you've got to reheat the air that is already cooled off because the warm air has already escaped outside. And one of the ways you can do that is with this great window that you've got here. I mean, this is heavy duty right here.
Yeah, this is on the energy side of the equation, and you see there's just smooth edges, and I call this a replacement window. This is a double hung window, and it's got grills in it, but what's really nice is it's not nearly as expensive as people think. When you put a replacement window in, we just take the old wood single pane sashes out.
Knock it out, chip it out, whatever you got to do.
Take the track out.
Take a lot of rotten wood out as well.
Well, let's assume we don't have to replace the rotten wood.
Yeah.
And so the trim on the inside, trim on the outside can stay in place. So the windows are not expensive. The labor is really reasonable because you're not having to remove a whole lot of different things. So this is, I just recommend when I see houses 30 years old, single pane windows to do this. Another element in filtration is all your exterior doors, pull out the old weather stripping, Lowe's, $12. You can put new weather stripping in.
Very inexpensive.
Oh yeah, very inexpensive.
Yeah, and this casing is insulated, and then you've got the double pane windows with the insulation in the middle.
Right.
I mean, this is really keeping a lot of that cold air inside the house throughout the entire winter months.
Right, the double pane keeps it from transferring heat or cool into the house, right.
Speaking of heating and cool, we've got one of the latest in a smaller version so that we can show you this, a hot water heater. Instead of the 20, 40, or 60-gallon hot water heater that you've had in the garage or wherever for a number of years, you've got this one, and this is on-time hot water. I mean, it's right there when you want it. And this will do a whole house depending on how large the house is and how many sinks you got, right?
Right, that is a Rinnai that I've been using for probably 6 or 7 years, and that particular model can go on the outside of the house. You can also put it on the inside of a garage. That little unit, 122,000 BTUs, so like a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. But then that's only 5.2 gallons. Then there's a 7-gallon and a 9.4. So for even a large house that has 3 or 4 bedrooms, a couple of baths, laundry, dishwasher, that larger one can take care of all of it. And by being on demand, and then it shuts off because you see the traditional hot water heaters constantly heat and reheat.
Even when you're on vacation or at work and everything else.
Well, right.
And this one can actually, in a sense, in a way, make you money over a period of time. I mean, because you're going to be saving so much money. There's a replacement cost, of course, but when you get this one in there, it's saving you so much money. It just makes, as we call, sense to install something like this, especially if you have to replace an old hot water heater pretty soon.
Well, this will save $220, $250 a year. It's probably that $500 more than a hot water heater that you put in new if yours is old. So in 2 years, you're at a break-even point, and then you're making $200 to $300 a year, savings. And then if you do caulking, you put replacement windows in, reduce that transference. You can reduce your air change to 5 to 6 air changes an hour instead of 7 to 10.
Wow. How can folks get a hold of you, Alan?
I've got a website,
Okay.
coastaldesignbuilders.com, and my phone number is 843-300-9383.
I'm ready to build that energy efficient home. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Using
very
Mr.
much,
Alan Wheeler. We've got more coming up after the break, so stay with us.